Cooking seafood on a barbecue is so impressive, but I'm going to take it one step further by making seafood en papillote. It is so dramatic when it comes to the table, and you can do this for 2 people or for 10 people, depending on how big your barbecue is. Now I'm going to do a nice big en papillote. Now the word en papillote just means packet in French, very fancy word, and what I'll be doing is cooking all of this gorgeous seafood in baking paper and foil, and I'll show you how to make this gorgeous packet. But before we prepare the seafood, we need to preheat our Weber. What I've done is placed a convection tray and a trivet in the center of the grill, and now I'm going to turn my barbecue onto high. And this is going to preheat for about 10 minutes, which gives me just enough time to get a sauce and a garnish ready for the seafood. Now I'm going to give this a bit of a French feel, so a little bit of fennel, and I'll cut the base off that. I'm going to also keep the fennel frond. See all these beautiful leaves? Not just for the prettiness of it, but it's also going to give it a lovely anise flavour. So we'll just pick a few of those off and reserve them, maybe a small handful, and we'll put them to the side. And now I need about half of this fennel. We'll take that core out, and then I'm just going to finely slice this, almost shave it. You can do this on a mandolin if you like, or just a nice sharp knife. All right, that's plenty. Now a little bit of French shallot. So this is a nice mild onion flavour, so it's not going to overpower our seafood. And the herb of choice is some thyme. Beautiful little bit of thyme will give a nice perfume to the sauce. So we'll place this into a bowl. I've also parboiled some potatoes. So these are pretty much cooked, and they're going to be a really nice addition to our seafood platter. So we're just going to cut them in quarters, and I've left the skin on them. Now for a really quick French-inspired sauce, in a bowl I'll add a little bit of Dijon mustard, the zest of 1 lemon straight into that bowl so we get as much flavour out as possible, and some white wine, with a pinch of salt and some pepper. And then to finish off this sauce, I love the addition of some cream. So a few spoonfuls of cream, pure cream. Give that a really good mix so there's no lumps, and that is the most decadent, delicious thing to go with seafood. Speaking of seafood, let's get on to preparing that. I have already peeled these gorgeous prawns, beautiful green prawns. I've left the head on, and I've also left the tail on for presentation reasons. It looks so much better. And to be honest, a lot of the flavour is in the head, so please keep the heads on. A beautiful array of shellfish here. Mussels, you can see how fresh they are. I've given them a clean, removed their beard. You can see this one has a little bit in there. We want to take that out because we don't want to eat that. Some gorgeous pippies that I've just rinsed under the tap. A little bit of blue eye, and some squid. Now I'm just going to cut the hoods of the squid into rounds, about 2 centimeters thick, and have a look at the tentacles. You know what, I actually prefer the tentacles as opposed to the hood. There's so much flavour in the tentacles, but just to make sure everything cooks evenly, we do want to cut this up. So I'll just cut the longer pieces, pop that over there, and then cut the tentacles in half. Done. Okay, I'll get rid of this chopping board, and now I need 2 pieces of foil, and just allow them to overlap a little bit. And now for some baking paper. Oh, I've got a few little friends. They can smell the seafood. Some olive oil, just to drizzle on the baking paper. Now we need to start layering this, so a little bit of fennel and some of the shallot, some potatoes, and spread it out. So this is going to be the bed for our seafood. And you got to think about what seafood cooks first, what's going to take the longest to cook. I say that the mussels, so I'll put a few mussels down first, the pippies. It's also a lovely little trivet for the pieces of fish so they're not touching the bottom. A little bit of our white fish. Any firm white fish is fantastic for this. Now for the calamari. And then before we add the rest of the seafood, we'll add some more of the fennel and the eschalots. Season it with some pepper and some salt. Make sure you give yourself some space around the borders because we need to cover this and fold it neatly. Some of our prawns. And now we're going to do the layering again. Some fennel, potatoes, lots of thyme on the top, squid, our pippies, and a few more prawns. And now for the sauce. My sauce is pretty thick because of the mustard and the cream I've added, but we don't want it to dribble everywhere, so it's a good idea to put majority of the sauce in the center, and when it starts to cook, it will evenly distribute. Now, I like to place another piece of baking paper on the top, squish it down, and then another 2 pieces of foil. And now I'm going to fold the sides like a little pocket. We'll start with the shorter side and just fold it in, nice and tight. And then we'll fold the long side, again, quite tightly. And then finally, the last side. Now, before I place this on our barbecue, I'm just going to turn the heat down to medium, or the roasting setting. Place our package onto the board that we used before, and now we'll place this straight onto the trivet. So you can see how important it is to have that trivet there, because what it does is elevates that seafood from the bars of the grill. So this is going to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. There's a lot of seafood in there, so the hood goes down. We'll just let the Weber do its thing. Now the seafood has been cooking for about 15 to 20 minutes. It smells fantastic and I can hear it sizzling, so I know it's ready. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is coming off the barbecue. Best way to do this is just to get a nice big board, the board that you're going to present it on, and tongs, and then just carefully lift it and slide it off. It's that easy for that dramatic finish. Get a knife, cut down the center. As soon as you pierce this, a waft of steam comes out and it smells divine. Rip it open. Wow. So happy with this. I wish you could smell how delicious this is. And then for the garnish, our fennel fronds, I've just placed them in some chilled water so they stay really crisp. And that is a seriously delicious dish to show off in front of either 2 people or 10 people. Everyone's going to love that. Just dig in. Tell you what, you are going to be the favourite at the barbecue this year if you do this dish.